And I'd like to begin with a very simple question. Very simple. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? So I've come today with a message of hope for all Americans with your beautiful vote. Oh, we don't want your money. I don't want your money. I want your damn vote. Okay? We want that vote. I will end inflation. I will stop the criminal invasion of our country, the biggest problem we have right now. And I will bring back the American dream. And this is all you really need to know. We have somebody who's grossly incompetent. As, I guess, I don't know, is she the vice president, the president? Is she a contender? What the hell is she? Kamala broke it, and I will fix it, and we'll fix it very quickly. And America will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before. It's going to be. You watch. This is going to be so much fun. That's the good thing about that little slippage that they had, that little, you know, because it showed how bad they are. It showed how bad they are. And there's never been spirit like we had. There's never been any race that we've ever had in the history of this country that's had this kind of spirit. So I just want to thank everyone. This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of gross incompetence and failure, or whether we'll begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. They're going to be the 4 greatest years. And I'm asking you to, it's very hard for you to do this, to be honest with you, because you look at what's happened to our country and how the hell can you do this? But I'm asking you anyway to be excited about the future of our country again. Just be excited. We're going to turn it around. And I'm asking you, dream big. The American dream, just dream big. We're bringing it back. This will be America's new golden age. It's going to be the golden age. Look at this place. I mean, what the hell? How do you beat it? How do you beat it, huh? How's Eric doing? I think very well. Oh, boy. He's a great guy. He's a great-looking guy, too. Sometimes I'd say maybe he'd be better off without that mustache. I'm not sure. He's such a handsome guy. I said, I don't know. But, you know, I guess you better leave it, because I hear you're leading, so we have to leave the mustache. Right? And you're doing great, Eric. Boy, oh, boy, we love it. We love it. We love this whole place. We had a little event here, you know, recently, you know that, right? That was the convention. We had the convention. I had a little patch on my ear, excuse me. Little patch. I said, I don't know. I was a little embarrassed walking out with a patch. But there's nothing you can do about some things, right? Every problem facing us can be solved, but now the fate of our nation is in your hands. It really is. We win this state, we win the whole thing. You know that? On Tuesday, you have to stand up and you have to tell Kamala that you've had enough, that you can't take it anymore. She's been the worst vice president in the history of our country. And you remember, just 5 months ago, everybody was saying she can't run, she's grossly incompetent. She was the worst vice president in history. We're not going to take it anymore, Kamala. You're fired. Get the hell out of here. So today was the last day for in-person early voting for most of Wisconsin. There's a little tiny section here, but I'm not going to get into the detail. But you still have until Sunday to vote early here in Milwaukee, as well as in Madison and Green Bay and Racine. We love Racine. We just left Green Bay. We had a great event. Was anybody at the one in Green Bay? That was a good one. That was, how's your football team? You know what I liked? I love Brett Favre. And we got a call from Brett. And you have to, I mean, he's a great guy, and boy, what a player. And I shook his hand. I said, man, that's the biggest hand I've ever seen. His fingers were like sausages. That's why he could throw a ball 80 yards, right? No, he was great, but he never did it before. It's such an honor because he never did it before. Thank you very much. No, Brett never did that before. You know, as an athlete, it's hard to do a little bit. You can't do it. You lose some fans, maybe. Who knows? Crazy people that say, oh, I don't like him because he likes somebody. But Brett was great, and we had an unbelievable day. And to get his endorsement, and he wanted to do it right here. He wanted to do it right in Wisconsin, any place he said in Wisconsin. And he gave me a full endorsement, and that was a great honor, right? That was a great honor. Great guy. He could really rip that ball. So thank you very much to Brett. So get everyone you know, you have to do it. You have to vote, vote, vote. We're going to win this thing, and we're going to win it big, and I'd love to win it right here. I'd love it. He's leading. No, don't do that. We've seen that stuff happen. We don't want to do that. Oh, the mic. Yeah, I think the mic stinks. I think it stinks. Crazy. Crazy. Oh, that's what I was wondering what the hell they were shouting. I think this mic stinks, by the way. And then we don't pay the contractor. I say, don't pay the contractor. Then they write a story. Trump doesn't pay his bills. He's a bad guy. No, the mic is terrible. I had another one today. You know what? I've done 3 of these today. Somebody said maybe what we could do is maybe we could just skip the last one. I said, there's no way I'm skipping. There's no way. And this is the best one of all. Look at this place. Thank you. The ladies from North Carolina, 259 of these they've come to. Look at them. They're beautiful. I don't know where the hell their husbands are. They're married. All of them are married. But they're great, and thank you very much. We're rounding the turn, aren't we, huh? We're rounding the turn. And we have front row Joe's over here. Look at him. And we have Mr. Wall over here. You know what is sort of sad? Is that mic now better back there? Oh, that pisses me off. They don't get it. Well, the mic at Madison Square Garden worked very well. Was that a great event? But honestly, it was basically the same crowd as you have here, right? Same thing. Your NBA arena, your team is very good. I would say the Greek is a seriously good player. Do you agree? And tell me, who has more Greek in him, the Greek or me? I think we have about the same, right? He's a great player, maybe the best player in the NBA, actually. He may be the best player. He's supposed to be a very good guy, too. But with your help, we're going to defeat Kamala Harris, and we're going to make America great again. Thank you very much. Thank you. So in breaking news, the economy created a pitiful, you won't even believe this, the economy stinks. What timing? What timing? 4 days before the election, they have among the worst numbers ever in history. Nobody's ever heard. They did 12,000 jobs. Normally you're 250, 300,000, 400,000. They did 12. Think of it, 12,000 jobs. And it's hundreds of thousands of jobs less than it should be, think. Because they're pathetic. They don't know anything. These people don't know anything. She's a very low IQ person. We don't need a low IQ individual. We just had that for 4 years. We don't need this. But those numbers are so low, they're almost disqualifying. The only thing good about the numbers I'm going to give you now are that it's great to run against the people that created those numbers because it's terrible. And just think, a few months ago, they fraudulently claimed, remember, 3 months ago, 818,000 jobs. It was a fraud. Everything they do is a fraud. And then they go after people that aren't frauds. They're a fraud. The whole operation stinks. But they created 818,000 fake jobs. And they thought they'd get away with it, and a whistleblower blew the whistle. And they blew the whistle. They thought they were going to announce. They call it a correction. That's a hell of a correction, by the way. That will be the world's biggest correction in history. What do you think, Ron Johnson? That's the biggest correction. Was it? You know, corrections are meant for like 700 jobs, not almost 1 million jobs. But now they've just revised the past jobs number, right? Last month, and they revised it downward by 112,000 fake jobs. So these guys are playing fast and loose. These are crooked people we're dealing with. The people we're running against are crooked as hell. So that's almost 1 million fake jobs. And I think it's something that Congress ought to look into, really. They ought to look at who the hell ever heard of these numbers? And they wanted to revise them after the election. Could you imagine if you lost the election and then 2 days later, we've revised the numbers downward, 1 million jobs? Nobody's ever heard of it, but we thank you, Mr. Whistleblower. You know, some whistleblowers are very good. Kamala's failed economic agenda wiped out nearly 30,000 private sector jobs and nearly 50,000 manufacturing jobs in just the last month. Do you believe this? Nobody's ever heard of these numbers. Even I mean, I know they're incompetent, but I thought they were sort of riding along a little bit on what we built. With almost 100,000 manufacturing jobs killed since the beginning of the year. 100, that's a lot. 150,000, these are all the numbers coming out of the so-called government. Great government we have. 150,000 Americans joined the unemployment rolls last month. This is like a depression. And there's nothing, I mean, no event. I think they're trying to blame it on the hurricane. No, that was, you know, a relatively small area. No, not the hurricane, not the hurricane. They're the hurricane. And nearly 250,000 people dropped out of the labor force, which is almost unheard of. No, these are the worst numbers anybody's ever heard of. The data shows that 100%, listen to this part, of all new jobs, net job gains in the past year have gone to illegal migrants. And the jobs were taken from African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and union workers. I don't think the unions are too happy about this. But I told you this was going to happen. It was inevitable. They're letting millions and millions of people flood into the country. And the African American population, if you see these numbers, now they're going to release them. But I think maybe, Ron, you should try and get them early because they're really bad. They have taken so many jobs away from African Americans, less from Hispanic, but that's going to catch up. But the African American job picture is unbelievable. And we had it going so good, but they've come in illegally and they've taken the jobs, and people that have had jobs for 20 years and good jobs, and they raised a family, they had a little house and everything nice, and they've now lost their job to illegal migrants that are poured in through the open border policy of that stupid person. Kamala's inflation nightmare has, think of this, has cost the typical American family $30,000. Think of that one. Higher prices because the inflation's just raised. And you know what started? when they played around with my energy. I had no inflation. We had the greatest energy we've ever had. I was going to have it 4 times higher by now. And we're going to do that, but we got a little bit of a delay because... And we were going to have it 4 times higher. We were going to take care of Asia. We're going to take care of Europe. We're going to make a fortune, start paying down debt. We have 35 trillion in debt. We're going to lower your taxes. I gave you the largest tax cut in the history of our country and the largest regulation cuts. And we were able to do more.